Coming up today on Studio 13 Live.
Do you mind if we rejoin you?
Oh, we'd love for you to join us. Just as soon as Melissa admits she makes a terrible aubergine.
You've seen her on shows like Abbott Elementary and Hacks. Actress and comedian Lauren Weedman is here to talk about her start in Seattle and being back in the Emerald City for an all-new show.
It's had a vasectomy. This is called elective surgery. Like there was an election. My wife had a vote, I had a vote, I lost the election.
Pasco native Brad Upton is here to chat about how he went from being a school teacher to a successful comedian. Plus, how you can get tickets to his shows this weekend.
And Fairyland Pastries is teaching us how to decorate some cute, personalized cookies.
Then, executive chef and restaurateur Eric Donnelly is here to cook up some pan pedu bananas foster with candied pecan and powdered sugar. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds.
And a huge congratulations to you because you made it to Friday. Congratulations.
Yes.
To us. We've made it to. We're so excited to have you. I'm Mireya Garcia.
And I'm Carly Henderson. And let me tell you, I got a massage yesterday. I had a lady walk on my back for the first time.
Like a whole human on your back?
A whole human. She was doing it, and she's trying to get some knots on her back. And she just jumped up there and said, "Is this okay?"
You're
It's
already there.
Well, I feel like this is happening anyway, so we rolled with it.
Did you feel good after?
I feel pretty good.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
I was a little shocked. The movement was almost, when you're trying to like bounce someone on a trampoline and you do the slow jump and then the big jump. It was kind of like that.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I was scared when it was happening, but I survived. The back's feeling okay.
Oh.
So.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I'm going to just leave that to you.
Yeah, adventures.
Well, our girl Rihanna said, "I'm not done yet." Following her Super Bowl halftime show, she's going to be performing at the Oscars.
Yeah, so she's going to be singing Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. The song's nominated for Best Original Song, which happens to be Rihanna's first Oscar nomination. The Academy Awards are coming up on March 12th. Riri coming through for round 2 this year. I feel like
doing
we should just count our lucky stars. We're getting another Rihanna performance.
I know. Now, remind me, were you not a big fan of that song? It was just kind of
not
mellow.
my favorite. Yeah, not my favorite. It did pretty well on the charts. It hit number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. But I was like, I feel like we waited so long for more Rihanna music, and it wasn't my personal favorite. But I'm just hoping this will kind of like get the whole wagon rolling. Is that a phrase? I think I just made up that phrase.
We made it up.
And we'll get more from her after that. It'll definitely be a more subdued performance, though.
Yes,
than
I think
Super Bowl,
I think it was a very much a beautiful song, but yeah, I'm used to the Rihanna that really brings the bop for sure. So I'm excited to see that coming from her, but certainly getting a look at her entire catalog, almost 2 decades of a whole catalog, was fun. So I still sometimes watch that halftime performance.
Do you?
It's all over my TikTok too, honestly. So.
I've loved seeing the people imitate it themselves too, and the little like behind the back move that they did.
That's the best.
That's really fun. It lives on.
All right. Well, Kane Brown and Kelsey Ballerini, your girl there,
Yes.
they will be hosting the Country Music Television Awards, and this will actually be their 3rd year in a row that they're doing the hosting duties for the CMTs together. But this time, Brown's wife will join him on stage to perform their hit song, Thank God, and this show taking place on April 2nd.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Kelsey Ballerini is just having such a moment, such a year. It's almost giving me Olivia Rodrigo vibes. She put out this EP, surprise, did barely any press for it, and it's been really resonating with people. I've been seeing people say, this album is my entire personality, and we talked about that earlier this week too. It is such a good album, so I'm really excited for her and everything that she's continuing to do. It's finally her time to like really shine.
I think what we have, like you said, Olivia Rodrigo, but even with Adele, I think that people really love a breakup, heartbreak, and even recovery from that heartbreak album. Even if you are in happy, healthy relationships, like we are, certainly we all are familiar with those feelings of heartbreak, and it's sometimes an interesting practice to relive that, to feel those feelings, but to know that you're either going to get through it in the end or you got through it and it's a success.
Yeah, I was listening to her Call Her Daddy interview earlier this week, and she was saying this is the album she wishes that she had last fall when she was going through her divorce. So anyone, sadly, who has to go through this in the future will have a really good album to kind of listen to a bunch of songs about just that. Another artist, Lizzo, she has gotten quite the honor on Sesame Street. So we all know that she's an amazing flute player, but she was actually faced with an all-new sweet obstacle when it comes to playing. Take a look at this clip posted on Instagram.
This is it, Elmo?
Yes, Miss Lizzo, Sesame Street's famous cookie flute.
I've played a lot of instruments, but I've never played a cookie before. May I?
Oh, go for it.
I love her eye makeup in that too. Okay, so the next part of the video shows Cookie Monster popping in, asking to play the flute. Lizzo says yes, but then in true Cookie Monster fashion, he eats it. Lizzo is really everywhere these days.
Oh my goodness.
Can we talk about how
it.
she's now a little shapeshifter and has done 3 different things this year? She did South Park, she's done Sesame Street, she's a wax figure.
Yes.
What's next, Lizzo?
We all love Lizzo. She performed not too long ago. I think it was in late December on SNL too, which was fun to watch. And I mean, she's great. I'm a big, big fan. And I definitely love what she stands for, which is be you. And if people are mad, they can stay mad because you have to be comfortable with yourself.
I know, 100%. Yeah, this is great. Sesame Street, too. So progressive now. I don't know if you've watched it lately. I used to watch it 3 times a day when I was a kid, but I was over at my friend's house recently, and she has a little one, and it was on, and I was like, I love how Sesame Street is just evolving with the times. It's a really good thing.
Yeah, I think they really put in the work to make sure that our children are emotionally intelligent, which I think is such a valuable resource, and it helps with resiliency. So I know there's like a lot of differing opinions about what it means to be emotionally intelligent and how valuable that really is. But in my opinion, I mean, it helps you be a better kid and a more functional adult in the end.
You said it, girl.
Yeah. All right. Well, a newlywed couple in North Carolina, talking about resiliency here, they started their marriage stuck inside of a broken elevator. Yes. So on the way to their after party, the couple got stuck between floors for more than 2 hours. Oh my goodness. And then rescue did come, help them get through the top of the elevator there. The bride and groom, of course, did not make it to that after party in time, but they say the story is gonna last a lifetime. Look at how cute they look.
They're a very attractive couple.
Oh my goodness.
They are just going to have a dinner party story for ages. Anytime, that's going to be their introduction. Hi, they got married and they got stuck in an elevator the day of their wedding. Like, that's always going to be a good story when they're meeting new people, you know? At first, I was like, is this like a bad omen? You know, like you don't even get to go to your reception. But they actually did get to have their reception.
Yes.
This is just the after party. I would also be mad if I spent like $30,000 on a wedding situation and didn't get to go to it. But I'm glad they made it to the reception. It was just the after party that they missed.
That is so good.
Seems like they were smiling and handling it pretty well.
Yes, good for them. Have you ever been stuck in an elevator?
No, knock on wood. Is there anything that's real wood? Okay, wait, here's real wood right there. I'm gonna knock on that. No, have you?
No, I actually haven't. And when I was in college, I lived in this dorm. The dorm was called Jester in Austin, Texas. And those elevators got stuck constantly and somehow, some way, I never got stuck.
Yeah,
Lucky
I feel like
me.
I wouldn't handle it that well, to be honest.
You just have to breathe. Do the breathing exercises.
Oh, yeah. But maybe more the yoga breathing than the Wim Hof, because I feel like that's supposed to energize you. I actually did that breathing exercise this morning for like a minute.
And it helped?
I feel like it did help. I did it right before a workout, and then I was like, we're moving along. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so a Dutch grocery store chain is making headlines for what it is doing for seniors. So loneliness is one of the primary struggles that older people face, and this chain has opened a chat checkout for seniors who are not in a rush and they want to talk with the cashier. The chain has more than 700 locations. It has a goal of making sure that people don't spend their golden years feeling alone. This
Oh my gosh.
warms my heart so much. This is so sweet.
It is very sweet.
Kind of like going to Trader Joe's.
They're always a little chatty there. I do love it. But it is nice because, I mean, admittedly, depending on the phase of life that you're in a hurry, and that's okay too, you know. But if you have a moment to chat and somebody gives you that option, that's very sweet.
That's really sweet. I love it. There are all different kinds of people at the airport and on airplanes.
Yes, there are.
But now a travel expert known as the Points Guy UK is breaking down the most annoying ones.
All right, so passengers who get in line to board the plane when it is not their boarding group, the passenger who refuses to close the blind even when everybody around them is trying to sleep,
the person who leaves their carry-on in the overhead bins at the front of the plane even though they're sitting way back, the person who immediately gets up when the plane lands even though they have nowhere to go.
Interesting.
Well, we asked you to share your flying pet peeves, and here is what you said.
I do love how excited folks on Twitter got for this one.
Yeah, so it looks like the first person said carry-on fast food.
Ooh, it could get stinky, yeah.
Yeah,
it
stinky
could.
food. I always think about that when I bring my food.
Yeah, and Evan here agrees, immediately standing up and trying to deboard the plane. So it's not just the standing up, it's like trying to get off the moment it touches down.
Matthew Smith, our own Matthew
Yeah, our
Smith,
own Matthew Smith.
Says, on planes, take their shoes off. If you fly, for the love of God, leave your shoes on.
So I responded to this because, y'all, I do take my tennis shoes off when I fly.
I take my shoes off too, but I will always leave the socks on. You
Yes,
cannot take
yes.
your socks off on
That's
an
true.
airplane. That isn't, I mean, first of all, it's disgusting. But just like a sock situation, you want to be comfortable, especially if you're on a long flight.
I just in our defense, I don't know if this I don't know if this happens to you, but like my feet will swell and I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
Wait, have I told you about a leg swing?
No. Oh, yes, you have.
There's like these things, they're called leg swings, and it's or like a leg hammock, I think if you search on Amazon or whatever for it, and it's like a little swing that you attach to the tray. What's it called? The tray? The tray.
Yes.
And from the seat in front of you, and then you put your legs in it. It is so much more comfortable. You've got to get it if that happens to your legs.
Yes, I'm gonna try it.
It's really good.
All right, let's pop that tag board back up. Can we
Got a
take
couple
another
more.
look?
Couple more here.
Yeah, there it is. All right, we have Todd here who says when people seated behind you immediately stand up. That's another common one. I mean, you can't get off immediately, right?
Sean Quinn says mid-flight concerts, the ones that always go viral when half the plane starts performing music/singing. Please no. Okay, I've never been on one of those.
Me neither, but if you're trying to chill, you know, that might be annoying. Okay, and then we have Cascadia Fire says, my real answer is anyone who harasses airport airline employees. Now, this person actually, I remember they had a joke answer on Twitter that says, when people breathe.
Oh, come on.
And that did crack me up.
They're
though.
just annoyed all the time in the friendly skies.
But haven't we all been there? Like when you're just trying to get through the flight, like nobody talked to me.
Or somebody that really wants to talk to you. I feel like I used to be so much more open to this, and now I just put my headphones on or my sleep mask on, and I'm just like in my little bubble.
I know. It's nice to have connections with people, but in reality, there's so much going on in the world that if you want a couple hours of peace, I mean, you don't even get the Wi-Fi on a flight, right? You want to relax.
My happy place.
You want to relax, and you deserve it, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so do you.
All right. Well, we definitely want to hear what you have to say, so you can always find us on social media, Studio 13 on Fox. And still to come, Studio 13 Live, TMZ is joining us for the top entertainment headlines this morning.
Yeah, Rihanna's Super Bowl performance was apparently too much for some people, so we're going to be chatting with them about why some people are filing formal complaints coming up.
Take you another mile. Don't gotta.
It is time to take a look at what is popping in the world of celebrity news.
Yes, for that we are bringing in TMZ sports executive producer Michael Babcock. Hey, how you doing today?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Good. Okay, so it sounds like Rihanna's Super Bowl performance was too sexy for some people. This is not what my initial thought when I watched it, but I hear that some formal complaints are flooding in.
Yeah, and look, when you consider how many people actually watch the Super Bowl, it is the most minuscule of numbers of the percentage of people that actually watched. It's basically nothing. But nonetheless, there were actually 103 complaints that people out there across the country went onto the FCC's website. Of course, the FCC, they are responsible for what's broadcast over the television airwaves, and people actually complained. A lot of people said too graphic, that she had kind of, touched body parts for trying to say it in a PC way. She had kind of been a little bit over-sexualized in their opinion. And yeah, again, 103 people actually complained, said that they were forced to turn off the TV or shield their kids' eyes. I thought, all things considered, even compared to what we've seen over the last couple of years, that it was relatively mild. I mean, if you look at Jennifer Lopez and Shakira with the dancing and the shaking the butt. I mean, that was probably even more sexy than the Rihanna show. But I guess you're never going to make everybody happy, and 103 people weren't.
No, absolutely. And you know what we say to that? Stay mad.
Exactly. Exactly.
All
Too
right,
bad.
this next one we're talking about, interesting situation. So Selena Gomez taking a break from social media after some drama involving Taylor Swift and Hailey Bieber. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so Selena says, look, I'm just too old for this social media drama. So it all started, and I am way out of my league here talking about this. But yesterday, Selena, she goes and she makes a video to her many, many millions of followers online. And she says basically that she had laminated her eyebrows too much and that she had messed them up. Well, a few hours later, Kylie Jenner posts a video with Hailey Bieber. Now, Hailey Bieber has a bit of history with Selena because they both dated Justin Bieber, and there is a perceived issue between the two women. So anyway, Kylie Jenner posts a photo on a FaceTime with Hailey, and it's just a close-up of her eyebrows, and she said something like, you did this on purpose. So a lot of people out there, and I know this is a little hard to follow, a lot of people out there perceive that Kylie Jenner and Hailey Bieber were making fun of Selena messing up her eyebrows. And that was enough for Selena to say, I've had it with social media and I am taking a break. So now she intends to go away. She didn't say if it's forever, if it's permanent, or something that she's just going to go away for a few days or weeks and then come back. But she essentially said, I don't want to be part of this drama. If they're talking about me, I'm just not going to be here and I'm not going to listen to it.
Interesting stuff.
To take a line out of Taylor Swift's book, I would like to be excluded from this narrative.
Absolutely.
Michael
I think that's
Babcock.
exactly what she's saying.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys.
We'll talk to you soon. Oh, man, the drama.
I know. And you know what? I want to talk a little more about this because earlier this morning we were talking about that toxicity of the mean girl energy. Now, undeniably, Hailey Bieber, very popular. People love her. They love to do anything that she does style-wise, but she does have a bit of a history when it comes to doing and saying things that are less than kind to other people in her industry.
The award show moment.
Yes,
Is that what we're talking
that's
about?
what I'm
It's been going
referring to.
all around, on
Yes.
social media. I think too, Selena Gomez, I think she's a really kind person, but I think social media is not good for her. She's talked a lot about her mental health and how much it's affected her. She made that whole documentary about her mental health, which came out earlier this year. And I think she's taken a lot of breaks before. She's gotten off of Instagram. She said she didn't even have the password to her Instagram. So I think that this is actually a pretty good thing for her mental health. I'm sure she'll be back. She seems like she loves TikTok. I feel like Selena Gomez on TikTok is her best era yet. So I think she needs to take a break right now, but she'll be back
And take it.
when it's good for her. And I think any of us should take a break from social media or unfollow people that don't make you feel good, or say that you're not interested in certain videos when they're on your TikTok feed and it's not healthy for you. So I think she's doing the right thing.
I think that's always an option that people should definitely take. And it's really a lesson that the rest of us can take from somebody who is high profile and their job sort of hinges on being out there. But when you need to take a step back, take it. It's totally fine. But I think there's also a lesson to be learned here when it comes to kindness. I mean, no matter what side you fall on or whatever, it is important to be kind. And another thing that really is interesting is the fans, right? The fans are always very supportive of whoever they love, whether it's Selena or Hailey or, Taylor Swift. We're big Taylor Swift fans here. But when they're trying to defend the person that they're a fan of, it can get pretty nasty.
It can get nasty, yeah. And I feel like the fans, the whole point that they're fans is because they love that artist so much, and we don't need to tear anyone else down. It's not a competition. Selena and Hailey put this whole thing to bed at the award show earlier this year when they took a picture, and they were like, guys, it's fine. They were both getting on social media, Kylie as well, getting on social media and saying, there's no bad blood here. We are not competing. But unfortunately, it's just always a narrative with women. Women are always pulled into this cat fight situation when it's all good between them. They're all very famous and very rich and have their own, all of them have their own beauty brands that are killing it. So they don't need to be fighting with each other, and we don't need to act like that's what every single post was when maybe they're just posting close-ups of their eyebrows, and it's fine.
So do you think it was just a coincidence?
I think it was a coincidence.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think that, that they have that much time to tear each other down.
And you know what I think is interesting that I've heard, you know, from therapists and psychologists is that especially when you are in a space where people want to throw their opinions at you all the time, you should take everything they say and do at face value. So if somebody is being like really passive aggressive with you, ignore the passive aggression and just take what they say at face value. You know, like Carly was saying, just a picture of eyebrows, and that's all it is, and then you don't get dragged into anything, because if you start dissecting every little thing, you'll drive yourself mad.
Yeah, don't give your energy to that, y'all.
Yeah, all right. Coming up, Fairyland Pastry offering some custom cookies for weddings and baby showers and corporate events, you name it.
Yeah, we're actually gonna get to learn how to make our own personalized cookies right after the break.
I wanna see you smile.
Oh my goodness, the way we are learning to do the coolest things. So you'll remember yesterday we learned how to decorate some cakes, but today it is all about cookies.
We are joined by Janet Tan, the owner of Fairyland Pastries. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course.
We've been so excited to have you. Kind of tell us how you started your business.
So I started in year 2014, and at first I thought I want to make some cookies for my kids' parties, and then bring it to school for their teachers. So this is a great hobby.
Yeah,
I really enjoy it. Yeah.
And you are so very good too. Oh my goodness. So people started asking to buy them, and you actually started this business during the pandemic. What was that like?
It's quite challenging, but with all the stay-at-home time, the kids are stay at home, so I thought it would be nice to start a business, and yeah. And it's fun.
That's great. And you're going to teach us how to make some customized cookies today.
Yes.
So what's the first step here?
First step, we're going to grab this bag, the first bag right here.
Okay.
And then the way how I hold the bag is like this.
Okay.
Twist it a little bit so you have a grip firm, like hold it.
Okay.
And then make a circle. And then I'll use the other hand to hold it so we can stable the icing.
So kind of go around the edge
just
here.
go around.
And what kind of icing is this?
This is royal icing.
Royal icing.
So it'll be a lot more like liquidy than buttercream. A lot easier to control.
I feel like we're rolling here.
Yes.
Look at this. Mine's not a perfect circle, but
yeah,
we'll take
now
it.
you're going to use
we gotta put more.
You're going to put more, and then you can use the script tool to bring it back up, and then I have the napkin right here.
Oh, that's so perfect.
So
tools, man, these are so important.
and then
And you make all kinds of custom cookies, right?
Yes, I do. I do make for baby shower, birthdays, weddings, and all the way to corporate
events.
Yeah, corporate events as well.
What a fun job. You're just delivering happiness all the time.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So the second one is we're gonna get the second bag. We're gonna make a little dot. Just squish a little bit.
Just little polka dots wherever?
Polka dots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Polka dots.
That's fun.
It is taking me longer because I'm so nervous I'm gonna mess it up.
No, you're good.
Okay.
All right. I've never done polka dots like this on a cookie. Is this all royal icing then?
Yes,
It's
it's all
the same
royal
kind of
icing.
material?
And then the third bag.
Okay.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
The third bag. We're gonna put the polka dot over the polka dot.
Oh, that's cute. Like just in the middle of it?
Yeah, just the middle.
Oh, okay.
So you have like a kind of contra the colors.
Beautiful.
I feel like my little middle dots are a little bit smaller. But let's see how we can
Now,
roll here.
obviously, you are an expert at this. You move quickly and do it well, but how long does it take you to make a single cookie sometimes?
Usually it will take hours.
Really?
Just to make one. Like now, once we have the base, we have to wait at least 4 to 5 hours to let them completely dry. Then only I can make the second step.
Oh, I see.
This is like I already dried it overnight. The second, next.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna do is like get this yellow back. Same thing as well. Make a little, twist it a little bit.
Twist it up, okay.
Just trace a line.
So she'd made like a little faint line.
Yeah, the faint line, the number
I
13.
put so much icing on mine that I can't see the line
here.
anymore. Oh, on this one. Okay, cool.
You're good, girl.
How is this gonna work? Let's
Squish
see.
it. Whenever you want the line to stop, just release the pressure when you squish it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Now the artistic talents are being tested. What's your favorite type of event to make cookies for?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. It's so hard to choose like which ones that I like the most because each event is a very special event for my customers, for everybody. So
Yes,
are there any like
absolutely.
especially weird or like memorable requests you remember making where you'd never done something like that before?
yes, I do have my customer, she ordered for her puppy birthday.
Oh.
To celebrate her puppy birthday.
For humans to eat or for dogs to eat too?
For human.
Okay.
For human. And then last, we're gonna use the yellow color to fill up the icing.
Oh, okay.
Fill up the gap right here.
I was not listening properly, so mine looks a little different, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Great.
Okay.
So we're gonna use the script tool to help the icing to cover the gap.
I kind of like that it's not perfect though. So I'm gonna wipe off my scrape tool, yeah, from before?
Yes.
Okay. And then we just try to kind of pull it out?
Yes.
Oh my
Love
gosh.
this so much.
It's like,
Yeah, that is so great.
This is so cool, having all these tools.
And then this one would then need to dry for some time as well.
Yes, yes. You need sometimes to dry before you can eat it, but usually if you can't wait, you can just go
It's
ahead.
hard to wait. It's hard to wait.
And
Yes.
I heard you make centerpieces too. What's that like? What are those like?
It's like for the events, if they can tell, they will tell me for their weddings, what type of like theme or birthday. So I'll try to match with their birthdays and stuff.
That's
to
so
match it with the
fun.
whole party.
Beautiful.
Yes, yes. So I have another one right here.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna paint it instead of using the icing.
Oh, okay.
So
So I think we're going to have to do this one on social media because we
Yes.
are wrapping up, but it
Yes.
is so fun and we do want to show you. So be sure you find us on Instagram.
Yeah, I feel like these turned out really well. Janet, you're a great teacher.
Thank
You're
you
clearly
so
the
much.
professional here, but thank you so much for
Thank
coming in
you.
today.
Beautiful.
And we posted more info about Fairyland Pastry online at fox13seattle.com/studio13live. Okay, coming up next, Lauren Weidman is here to talk all about her new comedy show in Seattle this weekend.
Yes, and you have, of course, seen her on HBO's Euphoria, Hacks, and of course, we love her on Abbott Elementary. Hey, we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back. Joining us now is Lauren Weidman, an actress, comedian, author, and playwright who actually started her career in Seattle. She's back in the Emerald City this weekend with a brand new show.
And I'm so excited because I'm
Me
a
too.
really big fan. Lauren was a regular on Seattle's sketch comedy TV show Almost Alive and has worked extensively in film and TV. Most recently, of course, roles on HBO's Euphoria, Hacks, and the award-winning Abbott Elementary, one of my favorite shows there. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
How about that intro?
I love that intro. I got super excited about myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're great.
Yeah,
you should.
I'm doing so well.
So you have a new show called Lauren Weidman Blows. What a title. Tell me
Right.
about it.
Well, the title is, well, I do have a sinus infection, so that's a little part of it.
Oh, fun.
But I didn't title it when I knew I had to. That won't affect the show, by the way. I just want to say that I can perform. In fact, I'm better when I have some kind of infection I'm fighting because it makes me so more rowdy. The book, I name shows before I know what it's going to be about. So often it's just like, well, that's a great word. They can mean all sorts of things, right? So I'll just leave it there and let whoever is looking at the show come up with their own meaning that they want from it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like that carries over into kind of like the content of the show too, because 75% of it is scripted. What's going on with the other 25%?
I would say 75 seems high.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the exact percentage. We haven't really, broke it down, but it's a lot of improv. It's a lot of, just to make it, to me, that seems more fun, to be a little terrified on stage. And to keep it more present. And I want to be able to discover stuff with the audience. And so that seems fun to me. It's kind of, it's not you're not going to watch a rehearsal, but I am working out material on stage live with, that just seems. Yeah.
I love it. That's one of my favorite parts about going to an improv show too, because you're like, I'm never going to see the same show again.
Right.
Like no one else is getting to see
Yes.
this. It's so special.
And you can feel it, I feel. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can tell when people are, I don't know, there's just something, there's an energy to it when you know that it's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like it's not somebody, I'm here reciting what I'm supposed to be. You know, you
Right.
can,
Yeah.
I don't know, I prefer
It
that
is
as
very
well.
exciting.
Yeah.
Now, you started your career in Seattle. You've had some wonderful success. What was that process like?
The process of having all my success.
Of starting here and then being a real winner.
Oh, I just got on that freeway and just went. Seattle is, to me, I think I'm from Seattle, but I'm not. I don't really think that. I'm not mentally ill in that way, but I'm from Indiana. But I started off here, and there's something about the support of the audiences here and the smarts of the audiences. Not that they're dumb everywhere else, but there's something. I just have always felt like that people got me here, and that there's a progressiveness and also a love of the theater, or going to see shows for the sake of shows, sake of theater or whatever. And it gave me a confidence. It's been so long since I lived here, but I still feel like all that I've done has come so much from the support of it's like coming from a good family that believed in you and that, made you feel like you had something to say, and that you were worth something. They didn't hate women like some cities. Not all I don't know why I said that. I don't mean to get into that.
You're bringing the improv to Studio 13 Live at this moment.
Yes. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it seems too negative. Yeah.
When you come back to Seattle, what are the things you notice now when you're looking around, and how does it feel to be back here?
There were moments, and I don't have it as much anymore, but there were moments where I'm like, am I in Fremont? Like I can't tell. Like there's no, I can't see the land. Sometimes the everything changes.
Yeah.
And going downtown, what's that thing with where it's like these globes? It looks like a greenhouse sort of like.
Oh yeah, the spheres.
Yeah, the spheres.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. I don't know are you allowed in there?
You can go there on Saturdays, but I've been trying to make a reservation. It's very difficult to get in. You can make a reservation, but they're never available.
Oh, I'll get in. I'll get in.
You're VIP.
You're adorable. I'm going twice on Saturday. You guys can come.
Have your assistant call.
Totally. No, but that kind of stuff I think is exciting. I don't know what it really means. Hopefully I'm not mentioning something like, oh, that was on indigenous land, Lauren. Don't you know what happened here? So I don't want to support something I should. But I think it's exciting how it's changing. I'm all for but I also know that a lot of my Seattle friends are like, you should see what's happening, and like you can't drive downtown. Blah, blah, blah. But I'm still. It still feels every time I fly into Seattle, it's the only city every time I fly in, I feel emotional about how much I love it and how beautiful it is.
Oh.
It's always beautiful when you fly in.
It's like being dropped into a forest.
A
beautiful forest.
We love that you love us.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's
it's not
so
fake
wonderful.
too. I'm not good at the fake thing. Well, I'm a little good at it 'cause I live in LA, but
Yeah, you do act.
yeah, I do. It's true. Yeah, that's true.
And she
Yeah.
makes us laugh. Lauren Weidman, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
So we have all the details about Lauren's show in Seattle this weekend up on fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live. Thank you.
Thank you. Come see
Thank
us next time
you.
you're in town too.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll
So
talk
many
about all the
cameras.
things. I feel like we still have so much to talk about. Coming up, we are keeping the funny train rolling. Comedian Brad Upton joins us next.
Yeah, we're going to chat about his upcoming shows at the Tacoma Comedy Club and how he went from being a school teacher to a successful comedian. We'll be right back. You know what? It is a Friday, and we are going to keep the hilarious guests rolling today. Our next guest lived in Pasco and was a school teacher before becoming a comedian.
Yeah, and he's performing in Tacoma this weekend. Joining us today, Brad Upton.
Hey,
Welcome.
thank you so much. I
Hi.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And you're friends with our last guest, too.
I had no idea she was going to be here.
Oh, so many
When I
cute
came
little
signed in, I was Lauren Weidman's going to be here. So I was very excited about that.
That's awesome. I know you were a teacher before you were a comedian. musician and you were a track coach. Take me back to kind of that moment where you decided, I'm going to drive from the Tri-Cities to Seattle and give this a shot.
That's
Step on
exactly
stage.
what I did. I drove over, because back then, this was 1983, there was nowhere to get on stage in the Tri-Cities, so I had to drive all the way to Seattle. And I came over and I signed up for an open mic. And right before it was my turn, I chickened out and walked out of the club and drove home and hated myself for a year.
Oh.
And then I came back exactly a year later and then signed up for the open mic and went on.
Were you working on your stuff? Or?
Oh, yeah. I'd been wanting to do it, but I was afraid. You know, doing stand-up the first time, scary. So I had written all this stuff and had performed it in my head a million times, but to get on stage to do it was a big deal.
It must have felt really good to finally get up there and do it.
It did, yes. It was a huge relief. And, you know, everybody goes, wow, that must be weird going from teaching 4th grade to stand-up comedy. I go, entertaining a room full of drunks and a bunch of 10-year-olds.
Very similar.
It's the exact same skill set. There's nothing different about it.
Oh, my gosh. So you touch on Seattle in your comedy.
Absolutely.
What is your favorite part about the area?
Oh, well, Lauren was just talking about it. I mean, it is beautiful around here. I travel all over the country. I've been to all 50 states. I thought, you know what, there's nowhere else I'd rather live than here in Seattle.
Wow.
It is. It's beautiful.
We agree. It's a good place to live. And I know you perform at corporate events, cruise ships, casinos, comedy clubs. What's been kind of the craziest experience that you've had with the crowd?
you?
That is me.
Hello.
Still
Man of
getting
all
it done.
talents.
Still getting it done. Look at there.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I was coaching high school when I was, and I competed in track in high school and in college, and then I've always coached on the side. That was always something I did as my hobby. So when I was in town, I'm coaching hurdlers. So I've been hurdling I just never stop. So I can still get over hurdle. I'm
Still
an old
now?
man. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
that is impressive.
I saw a picture of you with Joan Rivers in there, too.
I toured with Joan Rivers
what
for
was
a bit.
wonderful?
Yeah, she was the sweetest, kindest lady in the world and such a great comic.
Oh.
Yeah, I miss her.
Iconic.
Yeah,
Iconic.
absolutely.
What's the kind of the craziest experience you've ever had with a crowd?
Ooh, that's a good one. I've never been attacked on stage, which is nice. I've had a couple people come up on stage. Nobody gotten violent with me. Probably just the worst gigs. That's what everyone always wants to know about, the worst gigs. And it's just little tiny bars up in Alberta and Saskatchewan. Because at the beginning, you're not as good and as confident, but those are the gigs you get. So you get thrown into those with all the locals that don't want you there anyway, because they just turned off the hockey game for the comedy show, and then it's just... and now when you're on stage at a big theater, you're like, this is so much better.
So nice.
But you had to put that time in to
You
get
do
there.
have to put the time in. And it either makes you better or makes you quit. You know, that's really what it is in this business.
Now, we are what is called elder millennials. I take issue with the phrase, but you have some words for millennials. What are they?
I do. I got a lot of views on the internet because I'd kind of smashed on the millennials a bit, and it went viral, 80 million views or something like that.
God.
But I'm as bad as they are. I made fun of them in their phones too. But I'll tell you what, right now, boomers are the worst about their FaceTiming in public. So and I'm going after the boomers right now for the FaceTiming. It's like, stop it.
You got to get that framing right, too.
Nobody wants to hear your phone call. When we were younger, we had phone booths, and it was because phone conversations were supposed to be private. So I don't know why boomers are so bad. They just yell at their phones. I'm like, oh. I was in the Alaska Lounge in the airport the other day, a couple of weeks ago. I literally went over and talked, and I stood there, I go,
oh my God.
everybody was like, as I walked away, I went over, I said something to somebody.
Yes.
Stop it.
Is there any other airplane etiquette that bothers you? We were just talking about this earlier. What's like your pet peeve when you're on an airplane?
But no, everybody wears a backpack, and none of them understand they're smacking everybody.
Oh,
they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I always take the aisle seat. Always, I like the aisle seat, and it's just...
So you get smacked around a little bit.
They walk past, they don't understand it. Or just putting stuff, they always tell you to, put one thing above and one under the seat. Everybody puts two above.
Right. That is frustrating.
It makes me, it's like everybody's selfish.
Yeah.
They really are. People are selfish.
It's like the Hunger Games out there.
Yeah, exactly what it is.
Who were some of the comics that you looked up to when you were younger and you were just starting out?
Anybody that was on The Tonight Show back when I was younger. And the first guy I ever saw live in my life was George Carlin here in Seattle at the Paramount Theater when I was 15 years old. And I think that probably made me, really, I remember sitting in the Paramount Theater And before the show started, there was just a stool and a microphone, and I thought, he's just going to entertain this whole audience with nothing but a microphone. Wow. It's just amazing to me. And I think that's might have been what lit the fire in me. And then I got to perform at the Paramount several years later in that same stage.
How's that for a full circle moment?
That was a big deal, and it's still one of the coolest things on stage, because I walked out and I went, I'm right where George Carlin was, and I kept looking over in the audience, kind of where I'd been sitting.
And maybe the next comedian is sitting right there.
Absolutely. Yeah,
beautiful.
thinking
now.
that at your show.
Yeah. Now your shows are mostly sold out, but if people want to watch you, what can they do?
I have a show. I have 2 shows tonight in Tacoma, and the late show at 10:15, Tacoma Comedy Club. If they just go to that website, they can get tickets. But the earlier one's sold out, and then both shows tomorrow are sold out. So I would go see Lauren Weidman.
Yeah.
Or see you tonight.
Yes,
yeah. We love the support. I love it. We do have all that information for you, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Come see us again.
Thank you.
All right, well, coming up, we do have executive chef Eric Donnelly here.
He is cooking up some very fancy French toast right after the break. It is time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight amazing food in our area.
Yes, and today we are joined by our friend, executive chef Eric Donnelly. Hello, hello.
Hi, nice to see you ladies this morning.
Thanks for coming back in.
Thank you.
You always come with delicious
Yes.
food.
Love it.
We're already going to get started. So what are you doing here?
So today I'm going to make a little, well, it could be dessert, it could be brunch, but it's kind of like getting over on breakfast.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little pamperdue, a little thick-cut brioche French toast with some bananas Foster. We're also going to entertain a little champagne and orange juice here in a second. And I'm going to get these going. This is our little brioche and our custard. We've got a little orange zest in there. We've got some sugar and cinnamon and all those fun, beautiful things. We're going to let those kind of cruise along.
If I made French toast at home, I would not be putting orange zest in it, which is the beauty of getting to go out to an amazing restaurant.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So at our place up the street, Rock Creek, we just started brunch again, and this is one of the dishes that we have brought back and put on the menu. And it's a great dish to order and share at the table, so you don't feel like you're actually having dessert for breakfast.
Don't make me share, chef.
Awesome.
What in the world?
So we got these little bananas, and we put them in some sugar, and we're going to caramelize them up on one side, and then we're going to add some rum and some other things and get those going as they clip along there. I'm going to turn up the heat just a second on that.
So fancy.
Well, this is hanging out and doing its thing.
We got to have a little beverage.
Pop some bubbly.
Orange juice or no orange juice?
Orange juice.
Just a splishy splash for me of orange juice.
You got it.
Wow.
Got to get that vitamin C, you know?
Beauty of brunch. Beauty of brunch.
Beautiful day out. We're doing a little brunch party here in the morning.
Now you're bringing brunch back. How excited are you to have that back?
Love having brunch back, and it's really fun. We had a very popular brunch scene before the pandemic and then shut down, and we're actually just able to bring it back. And we're on about week 4 of doing that, so feel free to come in and join us.
So awesome.
And we've got our orange juice right here.
Yeah, now, of course, you have just a list of amazing restaurants. Remind us where people can visit you.
We have Rock Creek, which is up the street on 43rd and Fremont. That's where this dish will be featured. The Bar Mer over in Greenwood, as well as Flint Creek Cattle Company. And cheers.
Cheers, friends.
Sorry, Seattle.
Hi, Seattle. Cheers.
Oh, that's a delicious mimosa.
All right. We've got our French toast clipping along here.
Look at how crispy that looks. That's awesome.
And our bananas are getting caramelized up.
What's the trick with that? Yeah. How do you know when the bananas are ready?
When the sugar starts to brown around the outside here. It's almost like if you were like making a creme brulee, but on the surface of those bananas. So
what about when you're making French toast? Because sometimes I think it's ready and then I touch it and it's still soggy.
You gotta let it go. And sometimes with these thicker ones, we'll drop them in the oven for a couple minutes just to let them finish and get nice and caramelized up.
That is amazing. Now, your restaurant's also recognized locally and nationally for your sustainable ingredient use. Tell me why that's so important to you.
Just, you know, let's know where our food's coming from.
Yeah.
Not just doing the big box thing and sustainably sourcing. Not sustainably, but consciously sourcing, I think, is a big thing for us. And our seafood and knowing where our ranches that we're working with and what kind of poultry we're buying and all of that good stuff kind of goes in and plays with our food program. So we've got our bananas a little caramelized up right there.
Those look like candy. Those
We're going to add a little bit of rum.
Ooh, okay.
A little bit of orange juice.
Orange juice.
I love that. That citrusy flavor will pull through.
A little bit of brown sugar in there. A little bit, a lot of it. A little more butter.
A lot of bit. That's
And
all
then we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon to this.
Wow.
Now tell us about some of the other brunch offerings that you have there.
So we've got some rock shrimp enchiladas, one of my favorite things that we're doing right now. Chilaquiles we brought on with a little salsa verde. We are doing shakshuka with some poached eggs and bright herbs and olives on top. And then, you know, some of the basic brunch items, Benedicts. And one of my favorite things that we do is a fried oyster Benedict. So it's kind of got a little southern thing going on.
Yeah.
Fried oysters, this beautiful Newski's bacon. And then we've got some a fried green tomato Benedict as well. So we've got kind of a little bit more elevated brunch menu and getting away from just the basic eggs and toast situations there.
Sweet and savory.
Exactly.
And so many different types of breakfast food too.
Love it.
So great.
So with this, when it's finished, we're going to add the French toast to the plate here. We're going to garnish it with some candied pecans and some mint. And now that we've got this sauce coming around, I like a little savory with my sweet stuff, so we're going to add a little bit of thyme and a bay leaf as well to that.
Really? Oh, that is so interesting. And it just helps with
just a little
completing
bit
the flavor.
of aromatic vibe to it.
Very nice.
So our sauce is coming together.
I always see bay leaf as something I should be adding to soup, and I do it, but like, what is the benefit of that?
It just gives a kind of floral background thing. And these store-bought, you know, your basic bay leaves, but the best ones you can get are the fresh ones out of your yard if you have a bay tree.
Yum, all right.
Beautiful. So our French toast is getting nice and caramely over here and toasted up. And our sauce is coming together and looking quite lovely.
Beautiful.
What's kind of the vibe in your different restaurants? How do you differentiate the feeling that people get when they walk in?
Well, the one's seafood, Rock Creek Seafood, and it's got kind of like a new school fishing lodge vibe, I guess, to it. And then our other place, Flint Creek Cattle Company over in Greenwood's got more kind of like black and steel steakhousey kind of feel to it, but not like, you know, steak and baked potatoes. It's definitely kind of like a new school thing. And then my Spanish place, Bar Mer, is definitely more, what do you call it, mid-century modern vibe, velvet paintings and
my vibe,
and really
for sure.
cool. Yeah, it's a really fun little spot. Gin and tonics and everything.
I love it.
So our sauce is ready to go.
Beautiful. Let's plate
Our
her.
French toast is looking beautiful, and I think we're about ready to hit the plate here.
Awesome. Yeah, we have
Just
about
in
40
time.
seconds, so we
Great.
want to try it for
I love it.
sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
So here's our stuff here. I'm gonna turn that off.
Oh, I am so excited to
Spoons
taste
over
it.
here.
Look at how pretty that is.
Prettiest brunch food.
Wow, beautiful.
With kind of the sauce built into that, huh?
Yeah.
So that's it's kind of like a syrupy.
Yeah.
I love
Yes,
that.
exactly. It all comes together and becomes this syrupy business, and then we've got these little pecans.
Oh my gosh.
Drop in there.
Jump in here.
Yeah.
Jump in, ladies.
Looks like
Enjoy.
heaven.
Awesome.
Chef Eric Donnelly, thank you so much. We've got more info on our website for you. You made this Friday.
Awesome. Thank you.
Take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.